You famously say, and it's a quote that's there as part of the promotion for trumplive.com.au, that's where you get your tickets coming up in July. Lots of locations in Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, and those VIP tickets, as I say, nearly sold out. That you've already lost the battle if you are afraid to fight. Now, this couldn't be more prophetic and more important. We do it on the show all the time. It's one of the reasons why it's such a pleasure to talk to you. But this is the important bit. If you sit back, if you think that the system will just correct itself, then you're going to get chewed up by the machine, aren't you?
Oh, 100%. I mean, listen, look, you saw what they've done here in the United States. I can't name a quote-unquote conspiracy theory that didn't turn out to be 100% true, right? We saw that with COVID. If you were a doctor and you said, well, of course it came from the Wuhan lab that studies the virus in question in the town where the virus originated, you were thrown out of medicine. No. It came from 3 feet outside of the lab, magically, right? And of course it didn't come from the lab. It was always the most plausible answer. It was always so obvious. And yet, if you were a doctor and you even suggested it, you'd be thrown out of the profession in the name of, preserving the woke, radical ideology of the totalitarian left. We've seen this time and time again. We've seen the lies, and I think, people are sick of it. But if we don't stand up to it, if we don't say enough is enough, and we continue to allow them to steamroll us even when it's obvious, that's not a great end result for freedom, for democracy. I can assure you, the people who are true totalitarians in China and elsewhere love what's going on in the free world right now, because they're sitting back and laughing at the incompetence and the stupidity, whether it's gender ideology, COVID response, logic, everything is either climate change or racism, even if it has nothing to do with climate change or racism. It just doesn't work. But our enemies are laughing and our allies are scared because they're watching the demise, certainly in America, of the once leader of the free world.
Yeah, a bunch of swing state voters apparently were watching the Joe Biden stumbling around on a stage, and I wanted to read you some of the things that apparently this focus group said. They said that they were concerned, they said that they worried, they were sad, they were sorry, and they found the situation even something that created panic. Now, this was apparently 15 people who had voted for your father in 16, but Biden in 20. Now, about a third of that room says it's going to go back to Trump in 24, and a sizable number say they're not going to vote again at all in 24. Do you believe that the country has seen an alternative path in Biden that it wants to retreat from, or the well-worn way things went in 2020 just gets revved up again in 24?
No, listen, I think people are waking up to the lies of the radical left. Listen, I think we have a lot of work ahead of us because we don't have the benefit of $1 trillion mainstream media complex that's functioning as the marketing arm of the radical left. That's, Joe Biden has that. I think they have, a multi-trillion dollar enterprise in big tech functioning to boost the radical left while hurting anyone with conservative values or principles. Same with big social. But at the same time, I think the Biden presidency, not just his actions, when he gets lost on a stage or can't walk up a flight of stairs, can't remember where he is or remember what he's talking about or who he's introducing. It's not that. It's the policies that have destroyed our economy, rising inflation. They can get on stage and lie. Joe Biden's created more jobs than any president ever in the history of the world, times a billion. No. Like letting people go back to work after you shut down the country, that's not job creation. People feel it at our gas pumps. They see it in inflation. They see it in skyrocketing interest rates. They are watching the bank collapses. I'm the son of a billionaire from Manhattan. I'm very self-aware. I understand where I come from. If I'm upset when I'm filling up my gas tank or when I take my kids to go cook dinner, we go to the grocery store, if I notice that things are insanely expensive, the regular people notice. They're watching their schools and their children be indoctrinated with the nonsense of gender ideology, the insanity of men in women's sports. 3-year-olds should be able to mutilate their bodies to suit the woke ideology. They've had enough.
Lovely to talk to you, Donald Trump Jr. TrumpLive.com.au. I'll give you the dates. 9th of July in Sydney, 10th in Brisbane, and the 11th in Melbourne. Those VIP tickets are almost sold out, but get your taste right now at TrumpLive.com.au. Look forward to seeing you when you come down under again, and hopefully it's a little more comfortable than the backpacker experience, which I'm pretty sure would have been fun as the son of a billionaire.
Well, I did it the old-fashioned way. I didn't have much. It was amazing, but I had a great time.
Yeah, correct. All right. Take care, mate. See you soon.
Be well.